Would you like to look like $1 million? I mean, as though you're wearing designer clothes and maybe you're not. I would too. I can't really afford the brand name designers, even though I am wearing a Scott Barrie, but Scott Barrie is here, and we're going to find out how in a moment.
For You Black Woman, brought to you in part by Nicholas Products.
What's this? Hey, look. Hey, lady, what's Tamba power?
Power to make my hair do whatever I want.
But what's Tamba?
Tamba calls the shots. It's the new liquid hair relaxer that makes my hair do whatever I say.
Ooh, ooh, Tamba. Ooh, ooh, Tamba. Ooh, ooh, Tamba. All right.
See you, fellas.
I could get my mother that.
New Tamba Liquid Hair Relaxer. It'll teach your hair who's boss.
Come look at this face. Come even closer. Now check the skin. Not bad, huh? I use Ambi skin cream, and you're looking at skin Ambi helped beautify. See, Ambi helps get rid of blotches, dark spots, the works. Ambi conditions and softens your skin, too. And Ambi blends your skin into one beautiful glowing tone all over. That Ambi. It's something special. Ambi Skin Cream, where beautiful skin is coming from.
Scott Barrie's got to be on an ego trip now. I don't know if he goes on them frequently, but he's flanked by two of us, both draped in his clothing. And the young lady on the right is Susan Taylor, who is the fashion and beauty editor for Essence magazine. What do our selections say about us? Now, they're both Scott Barrie,
well,
but in terms of color, fabric, whatever.
Well, it says that you have good taste, number one.
Oh, I love your ego. But color, what is it?
Well, I think that one chooses color to complement the skin tone, and also and the cut for the type of thing that you're going to be doing for that particular time.
Well, you know, it used to be said that black women could not wear certain colors. Just recently, I heard an individual say, "Oh, I loved this lime green dress, but my skin's too dark and it just looked too loud."
Well, I'm a believer that black women are the ones that can wear color better than other groups.
Now, you, Susan, talk a lot about draping with color. Have you found, working with Essence and so forth, that color becomes a real problem in the selection?
No, I think that's really something that used to exist in the past, where black people just didn't want to be seen in anything fire engine red or anything screaming green. And just praise God that, you know, all of that is in the past. Because brown skin is just the perfect canvas for color, you know, and I believe the more intense the color, the better it looks on our skin.
When you are cutting a garment, and we can't all afford you, but sometimes the influence is on the rack, are you designing for all body types?
Not always. We have, every designer has an ideal.
What's your ideal? What is the image that you like?
Well, a slim figure that's of a certain height. Of course, that's...
So if we're 10 pounds overweight, he's just said, get lost.
No. I make my sample clothing in a particular size, and I think that when it's presented on a particular size, it has something to do with the other people that are not that particular size. It gives them something to aspire to. I think that it has to be shown to its best advantage, and other people say, "My God, I want to look like that." So I'm gonna. It's an incentive for me to lose 20 pounds so I can look like that.
But now, what about the woman who may want to lose 20 pounds, but realistically speaking, Susan, she's not going to lose 20 pounds. She's going to watch her weight. She's probably going to be like me, perennially on a diet, always going to lose 10 pounds. How do you dress to minimize
She has
size?
to choose the clothing that is suited for the particular figure. And there are things for everyone. May not be in my particular collection, but there are things that I believe that everybody can wear. That is really the meaning of ready-to-wear, and I believe only in ready-to-wear. I don't believe in custom-made, or unless there are particular problems, you know, people that have really problems that there's absolutely nothing that can be done about it. then I think that, beyond that, I think that everybody has something that's hanging on the rack that they can find. It's just a question of being very selective and very careful about what it is.
What do you say to women who want to be gorgeous and they come to you and you're the head of beauty and fashion at Essence? What do you assess them? What do you say?
Well, I go back to something you said a bit back, and that's about weight. You know, that we really have to be more comfortable with our weights as black women, and that the American ideal, which might be 5'9" and 115 pounds, we just don't fall into that category. Very few of us do. You know, and black women, for the most part, if we're rounder, say from below the waist, that's really an asset, not something to cover up, not something to want to exercise and beat away, but something really to keep firm and stay proud of.
And how do you interpret this in terms of clothing?
Fashion.
Right.
Well, the first thing I say is that a woman first has to know her body. You know, she has to understand her body.
Somebody said that you can be comfortable with your body if you can stand being nude in front of the mirror and looking at yourself. And if you don't flinch too much, then you're okay.
Well, I don't know.
That's not the...
Well, because you might be able to adjust to 250 pounds without flinching in front of the mirror.
Well,
I don't know.
I just believe that there is a point where it's just too much. I mean, if you can look in the mirror and you can see that it's too much, my God, do something about it. Don't you think?
Because psychologically you're going to feel better.
Well, it's
Absolutely.
about health, first of all. You know, how many pounds can you carry at 5'5" and still be healthy? What kind of body structure? What is your bone structure? You have to look at your mother and father to know that. Some of us are naturally linear, other people are rounder. And very often you have everybody trying to fit themselves into that same bag, which only frustrates the hell out of you.
Well, are there trends now? Do you believe in clothing trends? You pick up one magazine and it says, do your own thing, whatever you like, and yet designers come out season after season and there's a new look. What's in?
Well,
some of us evolve. We try to evolve certain things. There's a certain part of my collection that's always there that I must do every season.
Such as?
Certain changes. There's a certain fabric that I use that I
Well, you
keep
like
in a-
soft, almost clinging fabrics, although this is a cotton. But it's unusual. It's hard to find a cotton Scott Barrie.
Not anymore. You see, I got into I got a reputation of being a man who did dresses in jersey. And I've never been just only about jersey. I've always done
But you like to
chiffons
show
and,
body in a lot of your clothes. Now, this season, you seem to be having a fuller, bigger look, and we'll take a look in a second at some of the...
For the last 2 or 3 seasons, because of just what you said, trends. If it's a certain trend, if you feel that clothes should be more comfortable, bigger, looser, and then they get slim again, then there's a combination of a very slim dress with a large jacket or a large coat that goes over it.
Now, I'm going to pretend that you're not here for a moment. So, Susan, how do women respond to men telling them what to wear? Because the big designers very frequently are men.
I don't really think that the masses of women really realize that mostly men design their clothes. I don't think the masses of women really realize
Well, we're
that.
telling people.
Yeah. Well, I think if it's pretty and if it looks good, a person shouldn't care who puts it together.
Okay, let's take a look at one of your new things. It's interesting.
It's an Angora jersey, reversible coat, a jacket actually, that's cut very full and very, very free, so that it almost has no size. And it's colorful. I use 3 colors in this one, and the skirt's quite full, and it's a dirndl skirt.
If you don't have a color television set, a most unusual color combinations. A royal blue trim on the sleeve, a rust, and a turquoise. A few years ago, that wouldn't have matched at all. Now, the skirt is really full, and you've got pockets on top. If you've got big hips, it's difficult to wear that.
It camouflages also.
Because
I find skirt, now maybe it's the fabric.
Yeah.
Often full skirts tend to make the hips bulge.
Now, Tanya's very slim, and this particular skirt, with this particular skirt, you're not able to tell what the size of her hips are.
Okay, now, something like that, if you could just stay for a second, Tanya, how can you change it? I know the jacket is reversible. Could you take it off for us and turn it around if you wanted to create another look? Because very frequently we don't want to spend an awful lot of money. We want to get something basic and work with it. Could you do other colors?
Well, I think this works very well because that's exactly what she's doing. She's reversing it.
And it could, of course, take other tops.
Absolutely. It can go over large sweaters. It could be used as a small coat even.
Now,
on its own.
The length is going down again.
Well, length is something I don't believe in anymore. I think there's been too much attention paid to lengths. I think that whatever is right for the wearer is it.
Now, is there a special height that you need to wear the longer dress? Because we've been told that it cuts you off. It makes you look stubby.
If that's the case, then I think that one has to choose the right length that looks the best, what you're comfortable in.
Some people, excuse me, Scott.
Some people like it and can carry it, and others, they just simply don't know, and you have to tell them.
You were saying that you
something about length. Well, you'll find like this outfit that's coming up now is all one color, so that a shorter woman can wear a longer dress if it's all in one tone.
Because it's not cutting her.
Right.
Exactly.
Once she breaks the tone and she's doing a light and a dark, then she'll cut herself in half.
Okay, maybe we could take a look at it, and so that illusion could be checked, because I find also that sometimes if you belt the waist, or if you've got the waist and then you've got something that stops at the hip line, again, it cuts you off.
An unbroken line is always better.
That's marvelous. Now, you could be pregnant.
Yes.
You could be heavier.
Yes.
And still wear it and be comfortable.
Exactly.
Is it also jersey?
It's a wool jersey dress with an Angora jersey coat over it. It's a hooded coat, and it's also cut quite full and should be used with other things, not just the outfit. As a matter of fact, I think we're selling it separately.
You're going back to pearls. They left us for a while.
They never left. I just think that...
Oh, we didn't use something. I didn't see pearls for a while.
I think that maybe they are new again.
Now, Scott, where is she going? You've got her with gold shoes on.
I just think that gold is for any time of day now.
Now, that is different.
Yeah.
That is new. I mean, I was always taught that if I were going dancing or to cocktails or...
Still, yes. But also, I mean, there's a whole craze for gold boots for daytime with the jeans tucked inside.
Okay.
And gold sandals and so
All right, we'll be back with gold lame boots for lunch in a minute. Be a way to stretch a dollar. I know they don't make them very rubbery anymore, but and no woman starts from scratch. We tend to look at what we've got in our wardrobe and we add to it. But there must be a way that we can really look at what we have and begin to mix and match. I know sometimes when you're going out and you have nothing to wear, you really put your mind to work and you mix combinations that you'd never thought about before. Sometimes we're so set on sets that we buy in stores. How do you tackle a wardrobe? Cheaply.
First, I almost think that every season a woman should just go into her closet, try on each and every piece, and then try every possible combination. Put pieces together that you never thought would work together.
Now, that's luxury in terms of time, but you're saying it's worth it.
You must take the time, because that time is going to save you the dollar on the other end. And it's just a very wise thing to do. The other thing, for a woman to find out what basic shapes work best on her body, I look at a department store. In a department store, you can just go in there and try on all day long. You don't have to buy a thing. But that way, you go in, you find the lines that work best on you, you get that sort of imprinted in your mind, and then you begin to shop.
Now, you raise a good question, though, in my mind, I think. At least it's one that has come to me. Very frequently, you want to change, but there's certain looks that are best for you. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you work with the looks that make you look terrific and not feel as though you're wearing a uniform, which could happen? And I think sometimes, especially if we don't spend as much for clothing, we tend to want to buy a lot of different dresses, a dress for this or an outfit for this.
I think that's where accessories really come into play. You know, accessories can just change an outfit completely. In some of the things that Scott just showed, like take, for instance, the three-piece number. That skirt can work beautifully with a softer blouse or a tailored blouse, or even with a different jacket. That jacket can work very beautifully over pants, over jeans, over an evening dress if you were going out on a cool evening. So that you really do have to take that time, go into your wardrobe, and figure out every possibility.
How much do you have to spend, Scott?
To look terrific?
To look terrific.
I don't think that anymore that anyone has to spend. It's just a question of how inventive you can be. You can find lots of little things. For myself, I go out to a particular store that sells maybe army surplus things, and I find something terrific. I like to wear sweatshirts under a jacket.
So there's no disgrace in going to bargain basements,
Absolutely
places where they're good clothes and they're marked down.
Fashion really doesn't have a price. It's a question of taste and time and creativity.
Now this is pretty. It's the lady in red.
The lady in red. It's a tunic, a long tunic, and it has a kind of pinch tucking details. And it,
You've got everybody looking pregnant. I mean, it's almost as though you're beginning the pregnancy. It's a great look.
Don't think
but
of
you
it
put
that
about
way.
20 pounds under that more. Will it be too much?
I don't think so. And remember, these things do come in sizes. This is a smaller size, and the next size will give a little more room, and so on. And I think she looks far from pregnant. I think she's quite a slim...
Oh, no, she looks terrific. I'm just thinking of this over blouse. What is it this season that everything is loose and over?
Now, you can belt this same thing. She could wear it without the skirt for a short dress, as they tell us that the short dress is with us again.
Now, how short would that be?
It would be nearly...
That would be very short.
Yes, indeed it would be.
Well, it
but
could be
we've
fun,
been through that
you know.
before.
You could take that and wear a pair of textured hose, maybe in the
Exactly.
same red tone.
Now, that's a thought.
Yeah,
Or just slacks.
You could wear
or-
trousers with it.
Right.
Now, how do you choose trousers to go under those tops? Do you tend
Has
to
to be
stay away
slim.
from the pocketed ones, something
Sure.
more fitted?
Has to be slim.
And if you've got thick thighs, how do you choose slacks? Every time I turn around, you people, the designers, have changed slacks. I mean, the legs get big and loose and tight.
You know, Alice, it's really... we women should not allow designers, excuse me, Scott, to dictate to us. If we know, say, if I have very round hips, very broad hips, and I know that slimmer pants aren't going to work on me, stay in pants that give me that freedom.
Exactly.
The way the clothes are being constructed now, everything is very loose and very free.
Is there a size past which you should not wear pants?
Yes, absolutely.
What's
I
the
believe-
cutoff for you?
I think after a size 12, 14, forget it.
Oh, I don't think so, Scott.
I believe it. I
No.
honestly believe it because, I mean, I don't have to tell you how offensive it can be to see somebody that's coming out of a pair of pants that really should not be wearing
But
in the
that
first
has
place.
to do with the line of the pant. I mean, if it's a fuller pant, then a woman, you know, a larger
Okay.
woman, a 16 or an 18, can be in pants.
I
mean,
don't
think about-
advocate a size 18 to wear pants.
Now, okay, now this is what I would call a daring lady. I don't know if you can see right through it. I mean,
Yes, but
is modesty dead?
yes, it's up to the neck. It happens to be just a tent-shaped dress that's all the way up to the neck with a ruffle. And
It's
if
stunning.
you're wearing a body stocking,
and you're
everything is
daring.
fine.
Now, but could you use a slip with this, for example?
absolutely, for sure. Clothes have to have a kind of versatility. And,
We're coming back to dressy clothes again.
For sure.
Is it that women were just bored with the blue jeans, with the very tailored looks? Even pants seem to be disappearing to some extent.
Well, everybody wants to do something. Everybody has a need to go out somewhere, you know, at some time or another. And now is the period that most of the places that you can go, you can dress up. Or you don't have to. As soon as somebody said that you don't have to dress up, people started to want to dress up.
It's not doing what
As
you're
soon
being
as the
forced to.
acceptance of casual clothes in certain places, the time when women were fighting because they couldn't go into certain restaurants with trousers on, now they want to wear a dress, and that's very good for me.
Do you dress men as well as women?
Not yet.
Oh, you're going to do this?
We're working on it.
What made you want to dress women?
In the first place?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
All right, I'm going to
something-
give you a second to think about it. We'll be back.
Okay.
What made you want to dress women? We'll see. I'm curious, why are you designing for us?
Well, I don't know. I was raised around some ladies that used to make clothes for people, and I never thought that at that particular time that I would wind up doing the same thing. But as fate would have it, I wound up with a job that was involved with fashion, and one thing led to another, and somewhere along the line, somebody said, "Why don't you make clothes?" Or I said to myself, and I just started to service some boutiques at the time, and here I am.
And it happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess in a sense we're not all Scott Barries, but we can be creative and inventive, and when we put our wardrobes together, how do you say it, Susan?
Well, I think in terms of clothing as an investment. I think that every season, if a woman has the money to spend, that she should buy one great, I think of them as ensembles. Separates give you a lot more mileage. If you spend between $100 and $200 for a gorgeous suit, that suit should be able to be broken up and work.
But it would be the same principle if you can't spend $100 or $200, and if you're spending $25 or $40 or $50, the principle operating would have to be the same thing. A basic ensemble, something that you can mix and match. This is gorgeous. It is feminine. It is dainty. What fabric is that?
It's a printed lame. It's a gold lame that's been printed and pleated. And this is my idea of kind of fantasy dressing. It's for really when you want to really give it to them.
Okay, now, I'm going to ask you just very, very briefly, what bottom line, what can we remember about our looks, about our images? You're with Essence.
Well, I would say dress for yourself. Make sure that whatever you put on your body is the kind of line and the kind of fabric that you feel comfortable in. And a woman can only determine that through her lifestyle, that she dressed for her need, and also by her body. Those two things.
Should you dress for your man?
I think that,
Yes.
you got to please your man in it. He's got to love it. If you look good, he'll be pleased. But we must start thinking of clothes as an investment so that you're not buying every season something new, something new, something new.
So an investment in a
Choose the colors well to mix with things that you already own, that you can play with, and add a pair of trousers to a jacket that has a matching skirt. Put a plain trouser with it instead of something, just to give it a new life. The things must
Okay,
move.
a statement. Let us know if you've been able to put any of these points together and what you'd like to have covered in the future in terms of clothes, whether or not you think Scott Barrie is terrific or all wet. Alice Travis, for you, black woman, FDR station, post office box 5080, New York, 10022. Thanks so much, Scott, for coming back. Thank you very, very much, Susan. And you have a marvelous week, and remember that there are no more colored girls. The lady is black.
For you, black woman, brought to you in part by Nicholas Products.